Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and yes, I'm a mess. I just came in from the garden, and I'm going to shower before I go to bingo, but anyway, I just came in from the garden, and I got my first picking of beans for the year. The first picking's never very big. The green beans and the yellow beans have come a little on the early side. Not the green beans, the burgundy beans. Aren't these beautiful? Look at these. And the yellow beans. So I prefer my beans canned, but we have the camp to think of, and I like to have, I want food out there so that I can't store canned goods out at the camp once the weather gets cold, because they can freeze. So I'm going to dehydrate this batch of beans so that I will have some dehydrated vegetables when I want to make a nice big pot of soup in November when we're out there and Papa is deer hunting. So I'm going to take the ends off them, and then I'm going to blanch them, and when I get to the point where I'm ready to blanch, we'll be back. Aren't they beautiful? Okay, our water's boiling, and we're going to put these burgundy and yellow beans in here, and we're going to blanch them for 2 minutes. But the best indicator with these burgundy beans is when they turn green, they're properly blanched. And once these are blanched, we're going to put them in ice water, and then we're going to put them on the dehydrator. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, now that our beans are perfectly blanched, look at that, aren't they beautiful? I have drained them and plunged them into ice cold water until they've cooled down, and now we're going to put them on our dehydrator. Now, like I said, I prefer canned beans. However, in any kind of situation where you are limited storage space, dehydrated take up less space and they're more weather resistant. Like if you were, say, storing your food in a shed or in bins in a shed, that freak gets below zero sometimes. You will want to put, you won't want to put canned items in there. You can't have canned items in a place where they're going to freeze. So these are a lot easier for when you're dealing with temperature control and humidity control. And also, they're easier to transport. If you're in a hurry and you've got to get out or bug out or whatever, then these are much, much easier to grab. So, and you don't want your beans touching. If you could possibly help it, you do not want them touching. You want air to get completely around them. So this actually might take a few trays. Aren't they just the most beautiful color? And they're heirloom organic, folks. Heirloom organic. Look at those. Those were the burgundy beans, Mom.
Oh,
the green ones.
God.
I know.
That's amazing, really. I never even knew they made purple beans. So that shows where I've been.
They don't make purple beans, Mom. Mother Nature did. We'll be back when the trays are full. Okay, now that we have 3 trays on the dehydrator, we're going to turn on put our lid on, and we're going to set this at 130 degrees. Okay, and this will take about 8 to 12 hours. Now, if you want to do some dehydrating vegetables for food storage for the winter, and you don't have a garden or you are nowhere near a farmer's market, you go ahead and you go to the grocery store and you buy frozen vegetables because they're already pre-blanched. So all you have to do is just run them under some warm water to thaw them out and put them on your trays and dehydrate. Anyway, we'll be back when this is ready to go in the bags. Okay, here are our dehydrated beans. Yay! Now, they don't look like much, but these are really awesome. And the thing is if you want to make sure they're dehydrated enough, you just break them open or cut them open. Like that's dehydrated. If you can see any moisture inside the bean, then they're not dehydrated enough. Let's just see if we can. I'm going to put these in a jar. Whoops, dropped one. I'm going to put these in a jar and save them because I think I'm going to make some dehydrated soup mixes later on, if I ever get around to making my bouillon. So, just because it's a small harvest, maybe your first or second, does not mean you have to get out the pressure canner and can all those beans. You can dehydrate them, and these will be wonderful for soups or stews or soup mixes of any kind. All right, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead saying dehydrating, just one of the options for preserving your food for long-term storage. Have a great day. Bye-bye.